Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Candlepower Hour here on electricast.com and all major streaming networks, platforms. Mercury is out with a little bit of an issue. She broke her ankle and is in recovery. Bill is with family. Dan's out on the road. We welcome from Long Beach, California, the band that we have been waiting for, Heavenly Trip to Hell, is with us in the studio. Welcome, everybody.
Yeah.
Let's get it going.
Yeah.
Hi.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's great to have you. Let me just start with a little bit of a paragraph. The musicians in Heavenly Trip to Hell, they grew up together in Long Beach, California, a neighborhood. They bonded over the years. They share passions for rock and roll, and each member of the band brings a unique musical aesthetic to the group. And over the years, they have grown comfortable mashing up influences together. So let's talk about these influences, and let's talk about you guys. Welcome to the show.
Hey, how's everybody doing tonight? I'm Gerardo Price, singer of Heavenly Trip to Hell. We have Vicky Vicious, keyboardist. We got Kurt Thompson, lead guitar. We got Jose, drums. We got Sergio Nataz, bass and vocals. We got Juan, lighting manager. And we have Frank Transer, rhythm guitar.
Now, welcome everybody, and I like how you have your crew member on board. Your lighting guys is here. That's fucking awesome. You got to include the crew members. So shout out, hell yeah, that's fucking great. Born on One Nighters is how you guys started. Explain that.
Well, just playing, just rock and roll, and being part of the LA scene for more than 25 years.
Where did it start? Where did it start with Heavenly Trip to Hell? Who formed the band, and how did you guys assemble this entourage?
Well, it was me and my brother started the band. We always we were like the ultimate fans of music, so we always wanted to play music. We'd go to all the shows. Any show that came by, we were gonna go check it out. So I think it was something natural. It just evolved from being a fan to playing music. And once you play music, if you're a true fan, then you get the plug. It's like it's the ultimate drug. To me, there's no drug like playing music, and there's nothing like having a bond with my brother on stage. I've been honored to be able to play for more than 25 years in the same band with my brother because we've shared some experiences that only he and I know about on the stage, and playing music, it's the greatest adventure. Sergio can tell you a little bit about.
Yeah, we were just wild kids and we loved rock and roll. We would tell people we were in a band and we didn't even own it. We were that much into it. But
what part of Long Beach did you guys grow up as brothers?
Yeah, we're brothers. She's my older brother, and we always wanted to start a band. So I saved up enough money to buy a bass guitar, and we went to Hollywood Guitar Center, and we bought the cheapest bass. And then we used to practice in like this little closet in the ghetto with a drummer who went and stole the drum set from the Salvation Army. And we just started jamming. We started jamming and making up songs and riffs and headbanging and having fun. And we had 4 songs that were real shitty, but we were already playing backyard parties in the hood.
We just didn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
because punk rock status. You just want to play. You just want to express yourself. When you grow up really poor and you grow up in violence and very oppressed, all you want to do is express yourself in any way. And punk rock and music give you that opportunity to be able to express yourself. We live in a society that is very hard on people and on art because where do you express yourself? What do you do in the society of phones and tablets? How do you express yourself and create art? And for us, it came about with music.
When you guys started playing together, what was your first band? And I like how you have you put together those those shitty songs, those punk rock attitude songs, but those songs can always be some of the most memorable songs, some of the funnest songs when you put together craziness so fast. So with that said, how old were you guys when you started your first band?
We've only been in Heavenly Trip to Hell.
Wow.
this is the band that me and my brother have been in Heavenly Trip to Hell since the beginning. We started in our bedroom, and we just, this is all we know. To us, this is till the end. Uh, my brother told me in the studio that he was sad because one day we weren't going to be able to play music. And then I thought about it and I fucking understood. I got it. I said, fuck, one day I'm not going to play music. And then what, music to me, we practice 3 times a week. We play. I don't even know how to live my life without music.
That's amazing. Now, let me ask you this before we venture into the other bands and what you're doing. Heavenly Trip to Hell, the name, since you started so long ago together, and this has been the only band you've been in, that's awesome. Where did you get the name Heavenly Trip to Hell? It's pretty amazing.
Well, my brother came up with the name. But to me, Sergio came up with the name. But it's really easy when everybody tells you you're going to go to hell. Anything that's fun, you're going to go to fucking hell. And that, for me, but he has his own thought about it.
I like my initial thoughts were we grew up in a real religious culture, being Mexican, and we I think we came to an age where we just started to question everything we were being told, and then we wanted to understand it. And once we understood it, we wanted to kind of poke fun at it and poke fun at every other rule and regulation that's been set upon you, that indoctrination as a young adult. And we came to the decision that we were going to be on a heavenly trip to hell. If we're going to go to hell, fuck it, make it as fun as you fucking can.
Absolutely.
And no one,
I like that
really
attitude.
no one knows what's going to happen when you die, and why fear that? Just go balls out every fucking day.
Well, it's a culture of fear, I feel.
And that's how I wanted to live my life initially, starting a rock and roll band without the fear of anything.
I think that's pretty amazing. As far as Heavenly Trip to Hell, when you first started writing your music, was it very supercharged because of you say your childhood growing up in poverty and and your surroundings? What were your first songs like?
Just fuck the world, fuck you. We got kicked out of a place we used to practice because we had a song called "Fuck You, Jesus." So and the chorus was "Fuck you, Jesus. Where the fuck you at?" And questioning people. I think all our songs were just, even today, we just found a wiser way to say it. As you get older and you become a better musician, sometimes you don't have to tell people right to their face, fuck you. You can say it in words that they can hear, and at the end be like, fuck, that guy just told me to fuck up. You know what I mean? And it's lyrically, you grow as a musician. But I believe that our first songs still stand up and now are more relevant than ever. We had a song called Assassination Number 1 20 years ago. That's more relevant now than ever. Having an album called Assassination Number 1. So that's more relevant now than ever.
It is. Now, as far as your current lineup, I know you have an amazing story about how Vicky Vicious joined the band, but how did you arrive at your current lineup?
Rock and roll. When you play real music and you're really on it and you're in the trenches and you're doing it, people recognize that shit. People recognize real music, and when the songs are real, you're not writing songs, you're living them, then other musicians are attracted to that. I met Kurt when Kurt was 15 years old, living on the streets, playing acoustic guitar. And I said, what, this kid? And then one day the opportunity came, and when he picked up the guitar, he knew every HTTH song. He knew every song better than I knew the songs. So to me, I was like, it was a natural thing, a natural evolution. Same with our drummer, Jose. I met Jose when he was just a kid. I went to his band practice, and one day, this kid that I went to go see was in my practice, and now he's my drummer, you know what I mean? And he's been in the band, and it was one of the greatest things that could happen. Frank Transer, Well, he used to be the guitar player for the Transers.
And your number one fan.
But he was my number one fan. He fell in love with me. He was like, "Gee, you can write them. You're so talented." I said, "You know what? Anybody who loves me that much and can kick ass on guitar should be in the band."
Yeah,
That's
and
amazing.
I can say for myself, same. I was their number one fan. These guys don't understand. Sergio and Gerardo, you know, when they started the band and everything they were doing, I mean, I feel like all of us in the band are part of the band because we started out as fans. You know, we started and we really believed in what they were doing and what they were saying. You know, their whole show, everything. And so, you know, I think I just started out as a band, and you know, next thing I knew, I was like on stage with them.
That's the story I wanted to talk about. How, you know, you also were a fan of the band, and then
Yes.
all of a sudden you became the keyboardist.
Yes, yes. So they had an original keyboard player who, you know, he couldn't be part of the band anymore.
He was Luz del Mundo. You know that crazy ass religion, Luz del Mundo? They have a, well, he was one of them. And we told him we had a gig at the Whiskey. And we were all hood assholes. We didn't have computers. We didn't know how to use a computer back then. And he had a computer and he knew how to use a computer. So we were like, "You're gonna make the flyer, bro. It's your job. You're the keyboard player. We're a team." And he said, "No, I can't because my mom and dad, they won't let me." I said, "You're in a band called Heavenly Trip to Hell,
His parents didn't even know.
And you give a fuck what your parents think? You're out of the bag. Get the fuck out of here." You know what I mean? And then I told my brother was like, "What the fuck can we do? You know, we can't even make a fuck." We couldn't even go to his front door and be like, "Hey, bro, the band's here. We got to go practice," because he'd get kicked out of his house for hanging out with Heavenly Trip to Hell.
We've had friends like that growing up who were a little bit, you know, parents were a little bit overzealous and a little bit over religious. So, you know, it kind of sucks when you lose friends that way, and definitely band members. And so, but Vicky, you fit right in with this. And I do want to say that y'all seem to be more than a band. You seem to be a very deep family, and I see that in your group.
Yeah.
And I see that as you go around and do your activities. And so you're not only just in a band performing, but you also have Road Dogs TV. You're also you're out and about. What is a week like with your band, and because you're always so busy?
Well, it's living a dream.
Yes.
The fact that we in our community and in our city, we build unity, because art, music, it builds culture, and that builds community. And when you realize that everybody's on the same boat, that everybody's just pushing from different angles in the boat, then it's really easy. And for us, we want to push that because we've grown up in a very multicultural community, and we believe in unity. We believe in culture. We believe in change, but we believe that we have to be the ones to change. We're all communitarian. We're not left. We're not right. We don't believe in politics. We don't believe in none of that bullshit. We believe in taking actions ourselves. We believe in working in our communities and us being the change, because we have to save art. We have to look at things like they did in the 60s. We have to stand up for art. We have to stand up for community. We have to stand up for music. We have to stand up for heavy metal. It's up to us, because if not, next thing you know, they're going to knock on your door and they're going to tell us that our music is devil worshiping music. We're next. If you guys think we're not next, you're asleep. You're sleeping on it, because they came after us in the 80s. They came after Ozzy. They came after Motorhead. They came after Slayer. And they're going to come after us. And I know we're next.
Let me tell you what a week in Heavenly Trip to Hell is like, okay? So, Friday night, 2 weeks ago, we played at 3 clubs in Hollywood, had a packed show, right? Rocked out all night.
Sold out.
The very next day, the very next Monday, we were at one of our friends, at our friend's restaurant. He was, they're doing a small documentary on him. Evil Cooks. Shout out to Evil Cooks.
Shout out to Evil Cooks.
Shout out to Evil Cooks.
He's coming out. He's got,
he's one of the up and coming chefs. He's been all over TV.
Yeah.
Culinary master.
Yes.
So he asked us if we wanted to be, part of the documentary. Of course, we said yes. So we're out there rocking out. Then Saturday we were Road Dogs TV. We had to go into the studio and film. We had 3 guests. We had a hip hop artist do a whole show there too. And today we're here.
And then we had and then we had a quinceañera.
Yeah.
Because somebody in the community asked if they could have a quinceañera at our house, and we were like, absolutely, because how could I say no? And,
Wow.
yes, I know.
Yeah.
And our weeks, we stay busy, but that's what life is about. We're only on this planet for 10 seconds.
Yes.
Life is like that. It's going to skip you. We're here for 10 seconds. So we have to juice it. And I want to leave behind, as a band, we want to leave behind a legacy of art. We don't care. Everybody else can keep their fame. They can keep all that. We're going to leave a legacy of art, of music, of culture, of unity, and of real music. When people say music from LA, we're going to keep creating the realest, the most reflective music of our society as we can, because we can only be a reflection of what we see.
Yeah, and to us, Heavenly Trip to Hell is a lifestyle. It's not just playing music, it's not just being in a band. This is our lifestyle. And, we have a super strong crew. We have a bunch of people that we work with the TV show and the band. And so, we're family, but we also, we like to take it even further and, throw it out to the community too, whatever we need to do. If we, volunteer, help out, whatever. We love to support with the TV show. We love to support new artists, new music.
Well, we come from the bottom, so we know. We know what it's like and how hard it is. We don't know anybody famous. We don't know anybody with connections. We've just been pushing. And for the last more than 25 years, we've just been in the trenches creating art. And when you've been creating so long, you build a community around you of artists. And it's just people from LA that are just pushing, people that are hungry and know that it's not overnight. Success doesn't ever come overnight. It takes hard work and a commitment and time. But we're living in a society right now where everybody wants instant gratification, and that doesn't happen in art. In art, it's like a tree. You have to plant a seed. You have to let it grow. You have to water it, and then it's going to start giving you fruit. And after 25 years, now we're having fruit. Yeah. Now, after 25 years, things are happening, but that's how long it takes. And if it never had to get up to me, I'm going to do this till the day I die, because it's been the best thing that I've ever done.
And we're doing everything that we love to do. So for us, it's easy. It's easy.
This is very inspirational, and I do want to say from my heart, I'm blown away by this. You don't see this community within a band much. When you're going around with all these ventures, you got Road Dogs TV together. You're bringing you got your lighting designer with you. Now, is this also a part of your studio and your television show? Everybody goes there, and
Yes.
where do you shoot this?
Yes.
Everybody's on the team.
Gerardo's the director. We got Jose.
I'm an audio engineer, producer.
Then we got Juan doing the camera work. I do the editing.
That's
Sergio
so
hosts.
awesome.
Yeah, we're all.
Everybody's involved.
We
Right.
are all 100%.
Well, we have to stay involved, because to me, this is my community, and I can't let music, art, and culture die in Long Beach. We have to keep playing. I love punk rock. I like heavy metal. I like hip hop. I like all kinds of music. As long as you're creating, I'm about it. And I don't have to agree with it. As long as you're creating, at least you're creating.
Right. I'm blown away by this. I do want to tell y'all, I'm blown away.
Thank you.
Mad respect. With the mashing up of influences in your writing, you got some groove in music, and we're very, very honored to have you a part of this upcoming project. I just want to let you know that.
Well, we're
All
honored
of you.
to be on it.
We feel good about this.
Get it.
But your influences, how do you mash up those influences, and who influences, where do y'all get your inspiration from when you're writing and creating?
I feel like my cousin George was a DJ, so me and my brother, we were really into heavy metal, hardcore. We were like heavy metal heads to the max. listening to Prong, Biohazard. We were just all about it, all about metal. But my cousin was a DJ. He was like into Morrissey, the Smiths, Duran Duran. He was into every kind of music. So it exposed me and my brother at a very young age. Even if we didn't like it, he would play it and he would make us listen to it. And we had to listen from reggae to new wave, everything, to
It's
hip
awesome.
hop. And we were like his roadies. When he'd have a gig, we would roadie for him. And to me, that really influenced me to listen to all kinds of music. But I love metal. Metal's the music that got me into playing music. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be in a metal band. But I also have all these other influences that I like as much as metal. And so it creates something. And my brother's a very creative person, but he likes the craziest pop music that you would think. If you went through what he listens to, you would never think that he's writing a Heavenly Trip to Hell song because it's very exotic pop.
Well,
Joe?
the more influences you have, the more music
Yes.
that you love to listen to, it makes for better songwriting.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And I feel like you shouldn't limit yourself. You shouldn't only listen to one type of music. You can get influences from all over. So I say, we listen to everything. We love everything. There's certain, some music we don't like, but I mean,
But I respect it.
still, you know that at least that's not what you want to sound like.
Right.
So it all works out.
Right.
One thing I learned from my older brother is that when it comes to music, variety is a spice of life. You can't get stuck listening to one thing because you miss out on other great music out there in the world.
True.
Amen.
True.
That is that I believe in that 100%. What are your future plans? We do have some music coming out. You have some music that you're releasing. I also understand you have some trips planned. Possibly even you might be heading out to Mexico City.
Yes.
Right now, we're gonna play the Viper Room on the 28th. We just had a sold out show at 3 Club. Uh, they're talking about us playing in the fall in Mexico for the Hell in Heaven. We're working on that right now. Uh, we have 2 songs on the Aztec Batman on Warner Brothers. They're talking about having a release party in June. So we're going to Mexico City for the release party.
What's that all about?
Um, for the first time, they're portraying uh, the Aztec culture in a positive way because now Batman's going to be Aztec and he's going to be fighting off the Spaniards. And it's a beautiful movie. It's a beautiful cartoon. It's an amazing job. The producers, everybody
Wow.
involved, we have to thank them a million.
Yes.
Uh, uh, but we have 2 songs on it, so we're so honored just to be part of a project like this. And then we're so honored to be in a project like the one you guys are putting out and to be part of a compilation that's putting underground music from LA onto the world.
We're stoked to have you all on board, and I do want to take this moment to thank you all for stepping in and giving us this chat and this update. But I also want to ask you, because we always do, what is your advice to the younger people who are trying to break in, who are trying to get through, who are trying to survive in this day and age? What is your advice for the youngsters today?
Never surrender. Never surrender. If you're gonna play music and you really love it, the world is gonna tell you you're crazy. Everyone's gonna tell you that you're insane. But it's been the best thing I've ever done. Everybody that I've met in this room, except for my brother, I've met through music. I've made a family on the street. These past 25 years or more of playing Heavenly Trip to Hell here in LA, I feel like from Hollywood to the beach, I got it on lockdown. I know somebody. I know the clubs. I know the people. As a musician, if you keep your feet on the streets, you end up really knowing it, And at least for me, I've kept my feet on the street. So my advice is, just play music.
My advice is to just get started. You know, if you want to start playing music, just do it. You know, get out of your room, go out and start playing. Look at, start telling people that you want to play. Next thing you know, you're gonna find other people who also want to play, and to get a band together, get some gigs. If you just stay in your room, you're never gonna get anywhere. And so I think the hardest part for anybody is to get started because they think like, how am I gonna do it? How do I, who do I call? What do I do? The reality is, if you get started and you just go for it, everything else is going to fall into place. So don't worry about how. Just do, keep going. And that's how I met these guys and how we met everybody else in the band. And everybody, one day somebody approached us about doing a TV show. We had no idea what a TV show was, how to edit, how to
Produce it.
film, any of it, right? And we just were like, let's do it, and we got started. And next thing you know, more and more people started joining, and we started learning. And the more, the more, it's just like being in a band. The more you practice, the better you get. But if you don't just go for it, it's never gonna happen.
When you come from nothing, you have nothing to lose. And for us, we're ultimately free. There's nobody freer than us. Mm-hmm. We have nothing to lose. Yes. We come from the nothing. So to us, we're always winning.
Yeah. Nice. I love that attitude. That's a great attitude to have, and a great attitude to push towards other people. That's inspirational. And I do have one question for your lighting tech LD designer. Also, your advice for youngsters who want to break into the art of being behind the scenes. How do they get started?
First started being part of the show, throwing out money and glow sticks at people, and then through time I just started buying toys that eventually added up to a lighting show, and now I got over $5,000 worth of gear.
That's how you do it. Heavenly Trip to Hell, you are a community. You're more than a band. You're a community. You're a family. Yes. And it's an absolute honor to have a chat and get to know you and work with you in the future. We're going to have some fun. And I want to thank you for coming on this podcast. And let's have some fun in this year. Let's stay positive. Yes. Thank you for coming on this show, everybody. And
thank you, brother.
Thank you for gathering all of yourselves together. That just shows that it's a very powerful thing that y'all got going. Heavenly Trip to Hell, the Candlepower Hour.
Yeah,
we're signing off. Go to electricast.com, and we will see y'all later. Good night, everybody.
Trip to Hell from the streets of LA. Music, art, and culture. Keep it alive in your community.
Thank you.
Fuck yeah. Sit, Lulu, sit.
Powered by
Electricast.